Welcome back to the neighborhood family. Welcome to Happy Hood the Podcast. This is our Monday morning leadership segment. I'm your favorite neighbor, Jay Murray. This is where I provide you with leadership guiding principles and applications to help you unlock your potential, empower your self worth, and live a life of fulfillment. What's going on, leaders? So glad you decided to tune in to another edition of Monday Morning Leadership. Hey, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you can always be in the know when we're dropping new episodes, in which we are just launching our season 10 of Happy Hood the podcast. So we got so much in store that you do not want to miss. Today I want to kind of continue on this um, some more self leadership um, frameworks and applications. Last week we talked about creating a support system to help us in moments of survival, but also to help us or to enable us to also thrive. And I want to kind of talk about another framework, right? As you think about those moments of survival. And something that I had to pretty much teach myself. It's a framework that I created, that I'm even starting to coach others to. And this framework is somewhat a very reflective type of framework, but it's a problem solving reflective framework that I believe helps us get to the root cause when we're dealing with internal conflicts. We're dealing with some tension within ourselves, that we need a moment or we need to really use a framework, a technique to help us to manage this tension, to manage this internal conflict. Now, throughout any time that you're dealing with your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, you all know me. I'm a big advocate of sitting down with a therapist, sitting down with professionals that can help you um vet through these things, that can be a assistance to support you through these moments where you're starting to confront these internal conflicts, these internal emotions. And once you start doing that, who knows what you may discover, that with the help of a professional that can help you, guide you along the way, um you know to ensure that you can address it with the right tools, with the right techniques and resources, to overcome it and manage it. Okay, so I always want to put that disclaimer out there. Now, as I said before, couple months ago, um, I was, as I now had moment to sit with myself, I was dealing with burnout. I was dealing with stress, and this level of stress, it was a new level of stress. And as I had moments to now think about it, and even uh, think through of why I was stressed, and why I was burnt out. And even as I had moments to think through it early in the year, because of not processing those emotions at that time, the what caused, or the repercussions of that, caused another layer to develop, another internal conflict to develop, that I had to also unravel and peel back. Okay. And this four-step framework, as I'm, as I say it, as I said, it really helps you, takes you through this process of one, becoming aware, two, acknowledging um your feelings. Let me go back over it. Becoming aware, so awareness. Second step is acknowledge. The third is address, and the fourth is action. Okay. That's pretty much the framework: awareness, acknowledge, address, action. Okay. So let's go over the first step. As I said, when I was dealing with those emotions and really had a moment to sit with my thoughts, one thing that I failed to do in those moments where I was stressed out is practice awareness. Practicing awareness. And this again, when I have said this, numerous times, when we're dealing with reflection, we think about, well, how do I practice awareness? You have to reflect more. You have to reflect more. You have to take a moment throughout the day. At the end of the day, reflect. Oh, you know, let me. Oh, what went well? What didn't go so well? Let me. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Oh, those feelings. Yeah, when so and so said that I didn't like that. That's awareness. And the power of awareness is that you become aware of these symptoms that allows you to take notice and take stock of your emotions, your mental, your spiritual. And for me, it was the symptoms of, I was stressed, I was irritable, I was frustrated, I wasn't sleeping well, I was emotionally eating. All those things were there, but I wasn't practicing awareness. Now, the good thing about this step here, when we're practicing awareness, when we're really deeply reflecting, okay, sometimes we become blinded to our own behaviors, emotions, right? Because of our own biases that we have. And it may take someone close to you to bring your behavior to your awareness. And for me, I thank God for my wife, my partner, my friend, my best friend, that it was moments of her coming to me like, are you okay? You seem a little stressed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, it's not just you. I see it too. Right. Awareness. Begin to deeply reflect. Right. It's the practice of reflection. But awareness is the first step to help us manage these internal conflicts. We have to become aware. Okay. The second step, once we become aware, we're practicing awareness and we're now aware of these feelings, we're aware of these emotions, we have to acknowledge them. Acknowledge your feelings and your emotions. I cannot stress this enough, family, because so many times, and as I think back and reflect, I was aware at there were certain times I became aware of my emotions. I care because I saw my behaviors. I was like, man, are you okay? But I didn't acknowledge. I didn't take a moment to start processing those thoughts and those emotions. And I didn't acknowledge them. I didn't admit and accept, you know what? I'm stressed. You know what? I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I'm whatever. Because when we're able to acknowledge, we're able to move from the state of denial into the state of acceptance. And then from there, we're able to move forward. We don't stay here, family. want to make sure I say that again. We do not stay here. We don't stay here. We simply just acknowledge, here's where we at. Here's the current state we in. I'm broken. I'm hurt. I'm mad. This happened to me. Acknowledge, acknowledge, admit and accept those feelings. Admit and accept those feelings, those emotions. Do not try to bury them. Do not try to suppress them. You know, sometimes we suppress them with our with whatever vices that we have that our that is our go-to, you know, whether it's the alcohol, whether we try to sex it away, smoke it away, you know, you cannot suppress them. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge those feelings. Once we're able to acknowledge, what I had to do is I had to address those feelings and those emotions. And what I mean by that, through the help or through the step of acknowledging, I was able to now come to the understanding, okay, you know what? I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this rut that I'm in. And that's when I had to address it. I had to, you know what? Let me sit down with these feelings. Hey, feelings, I need to sit with you. I need to talk with you. Where is this coming from? And and that not trying to sound like, spooky or try to be very, ex- exaggerate, but I mean, really, it's truly taking a moment and you know what? What is it? Where is this coming from? And for me, as I thought about the burnout, even as that moved to another layer of avoidance, I said, what am I avoiding? What why am I avoiding this? Now, it didn't come to that understanding didn't come to I start really root causing. When I say root cause, like problem solving, of really asking where is this coming from? And I thank God for bringing people in my life that I believe um, God was speaking through to help bring this clarity to me to where, oh, I'm avoiding. I am avoiding because it was in that period in that state family that I pretty much had it in my mind. I was comfortable and I was resting, but resting turned into complacency, which now I was running from my calling. Now, I believe in moments of where we just simply, because we pour out, um, we become very, as I like to call it, passion fatigue. We go through passion fatigue. And it is in those moments where we pretty much, you know what? Because I was at the moments, I was like, man, forget Happy Hood. The hell with Happy Hood. That's what I was saying. If I can be fully transparent, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Self doubt was creeping in. All my all other insecurities were creeping in. It's like, you know what? Maybe I'm just not cut out to do this. There's 1,000 podcasters, 1,000 million podcasters out there. There's all these different clothing line people that have so many other lifestyle brands. Like, let me just stop because I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. And it got to that point because the reason why I was avoiding is because I had I was dealing with compound failures. You know, while 2023 was good, it was also some not so good moments that I felt I came up short, that I felt that was failures. And throughout, especially when we have such a calling on our life, we're gonna have moments. I think that the real evidence that you have a calling on your life is when you have moments that you want to quit, that you will have moments that you want to quit. Because it's during those times where you understand that it's big, like it's so much bigger than just me, right? That it's something that God is doing through me, right? And I have to die to myself. I have to die to these insecurities, these fear. As much as I don't want to do it, it's such a calling on me. And it's during those times where we're able to reconnect to our why. Why do we do this in the first place? Oh, I do this because I want to help others develop self-worth. I want to help others unlock their potential. I want to help others live a life of fulfillment. I want to connect and cultivate and build communities that are centered around health, agape, purpose, integrity. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. But it wasn't until I addressed those feelings, I started to address those emotions that I came away with, you know what? Okay, here's the fourth step, right? Action. Okay, how am I going to make sure when I'm having these thoughts, when I'm having these internal conflicts, how am I going to counter these thoughts, right? And it was for me, it was let me make sure that I reestablish some boundaries. Let me when I'm having moments of those, self-doubt moments, moments of fatigue, moments you know, of just dealing with my own insecurities. Let me go back to the why. Let me go back to what I believe God has called me to do. Let me go back to people that's within my community that are benefiting from what I do, that have told me personally, like, thank you. Thank you for what you do. And that was the action that I had to take to manage these internal conflicts. Now, as I said before, family, this is not something where as you do it one time, you can do it within a moment. Okay, I'm in a better state. No, it may take time, right? It may take time for you to sit with your feelings, to become aware, to next take a moment to acknowledge those feelings, admit and accept. Stop being in denial. Go ahead and accept. It is so much power in acknowledging and accepting, so you can now move forward and address those feelings. This is where we really start to problem solve. This is where we really start to sit with, and again, we may need to speak to professionals to help us to address these feelings, these emotions that have been a stumbling block for us. And once we're able to address, and then we're able to now put things into action. What's going to be our countermeasures? How are we going to manage these feelings? Because again, they may not never go away. Yes, it's gonna be moments I'm gonna still be scared. Yes, I'm going to fail again. But when I do have moments of what I feel is failure, when I do have shortcomings, when I do have moments where my insecurities are coming up, what do I have to do to manage them? For me, let me think about my why. Let me make sure I got my support system. Okay. Let me make sure that I take moments to practice gratitude and be thankful for the calling that God has put on my life. Let me think about those people that has been impacted by what I have done. That's why I do it. That's why we do it. No one said that it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. If it was easy, we wouldn't need God. But it's helping us. It's developing us. The calling is so big. And as I think about this, family, and I think about, like, how do you manage the calling? How do you manage those internal conflicts? We have to choose awareness. We have to choose acknowledging. We have to choose taking a moment to address those feelings. Where are they coming from? And then we have to choose to take action. Take action. How we want to manage this? What do we need to put in place to counter these thoughts, to counter these feelings, to help us to manage it? Because we know leadership is not a title, but a choice. Till next time, family, always love God, love yourself, love your neighbor. I'm your favorite neighbor, Jay Murray. Be blessed.